Nebraska got back to work here on Wednesday as they continue preparations for Saturday's game against Indiana. And obviously, all the questions right now are around injuries, particularly quarterback Adrian Martinez, who missed the Minnesota game with a leg injury and has been on the practice field. So what's his status here going into Saturday?
Good. Coming back from the injury.
He's good. Yeah. He's doing well. Yeah, he looks like his old self.
Are you counting on Adrian to play on Saturday?
We'll see what happens. We'll find out when game time happens. We'll see where it leads us.
He looks pretty good out there. He's got a brace, moving around better than he was last week, so we're hopeful. All the quarterbacks are taking reps, and we'll kind of see game day who's ready to go. But we have faith in whichever quarterback's out there.
Questions also surround the status of running back / receiver Wan'Dale Robinson, who left the game at Minnesota with an ankle injury.
We're hopeful. He's been out there doing some things, and so we're hopeful that he'll be ready to go Saturday.
And meanwhile, off the field, Nebraska's had to move forward from the situation with Maurice Washington, and it means guys like Dedrick Mills, Rahmir Johnson, and Wyatt Mazur are going to have to take on a bigger load this week for the offense.
Well, I've always been with the philosophy of I don't worry about who I don't have. I'm going to work with the guys that are in my room. I've always, when I was a head coach, I had that. As a position coach, I've had that. So I'm going to deal with the guys that are in the room. I like the guys that are in the room. They've worked hard. They want to be out there. They want to get things done. So, that's how I deal with it. Again, I don't worry about what I don't have. We can always covet something we don't have or not with us. We just move on. And but the next guy up mentality. You got Rahmir Johnson will elevate this week. Obviously, we have Mills. You got Wan'Dale Robinson. You got Wyatt Mazur's back, and you got Brody Belt. And all those guys are running hard. They're having fun out there. And now we just got to be able to go out and execute. We got to be able to run the football, in this league, and we've got to get better. But it starts every position, owning it with the details and getting it fixed, and practicing at the level that needs to be practiced, and we go from there.
But Dedrick will play more. Brody Belt, you'll see. Wan'Dale will play more at running back. Rahmir, we're hoping to get some run this week. He's playing well. He's fast, explosive, and so it's all hands on deck. And all those are the group of running backs that really had a good week of practice, and those guys know that when their number's called, they got to be ready to step up.
Johnson's played in just 2 games this season for Nebraska. He's got 2 more to go before the Huskers have to make a 4-game redshirt decision. Running backs coach Ryan Held said Saturday is going to play a big part in that evaluation process.
Well, obviously, I think it's a big thing, for various reasons. But he's got to go out there. We got to put him in position where we can see what he can do. And obviously, the redshirt thing's really nice because it gives us some options to be able to go and see what he can do over the last 2 games. And then after that, the decision will be made. We hope we can redshirt him, but you never know with injuries and this, that, and the other. But he's had a good week so far, and he'll be ready to go Saturday.
As for the offensive line, talking to Greg Austin here this week, one of the things to watch for is Brock Bando. He came into the game last week for Bo Wilson at guard. Will we see Bando back on the field this week?
We've been looking at him for a few weeks there at that position. I felt like it was the right time to make that move with him there, and he did a pretty good job. Brock is kind of a utility guy. He's played tackle, he's played guard, and the more reps he gets, the better he gets. And we hope we can get him in for more of these reps at the most critical times in the games, get a rotation going inside, so that we can stay healthy inside. That's one of the things that we must do is stay healthy inside, get those guys. Get some reps going for multiple guys in there as we kind of try out some new lineups in there.
Another thing to watch will be 2 true freshmen on the field as Nebraska may work in both Bryce Benhart and Ethan Piper.
It's always been a plan to try to get them into those games, but the times haven't presented themselves to do so. And that's we got to do a better job of making sure that we can put those guys in positions to get their games in and get their reps in and get in the game. The only thing you can go by is, we had some opportunities in the NIU game to get Bryce Benhart some reps, and he did a pretty damn good job as he stepped in there, and, the game was not too big for him. So, you kind of hang your hat on those reps and, letting him get that confidence, with that game, and then, giving him, it's kind of talking him up, say, hey, but you better be ready to go this game, A lot of times you can kind of see it in practice whether the kid's ready or not. So that's what you have to go by.
We saw Cade Warner see his first significant playing time of the season against Minnesota 2 weeks ago. He had 3 catches on 3 targets. Will we see more of Warner on Saturday?
Yeah, I do. He's healthy, and so he's a reliable target, knows what to do, great hands. So we just need more consistency out of the receiver position, and he gives you that. So you'll see him more on Saturday.
And finally, these are the kind of weeks where a head coach earns their salary. And for Scott Frost, it's obviously been a difficult stretch, not only with the way his team's played on the field, but some of the off-field things he's dealt with. And we talked to a few of Nebraska's assistant coaches here on Wednesday just about how Frost has navigated through all this.
Well, I think Coach Frost is an excellent head coach. He does a great job, and he puts us in position to be successful. Being a head coach in Nebraska is going to have different things that come up, good and bad. I think a head coach at any place. I dealt with it for 12 years at the NAIA Division II and JUCO level. You just deal with it. You make the decisions what's best for the program, and you move on.
Every day he comes in and he has this drive to just get better. And problems, he attacks them, doesn't cower away from them, as true leaders do. And he'll keep it. He'll be honest with you, in terms of what you're doing, what you're not doing, what your players need to do better, et cetera, et cetera. So I like that because I don't want any kind of skeletons in the closet, like elephants in the room. I don't know where that saying even comes from anyway, but it sounds good, right? But no, he's a guy that he's going to keep it forward with you. He's going to talk directly to you, and I'm, as a young coach, I'm actually looking at him like, how is he handling all of this? This place can be very, you're the only show in town, so everybody's looking at you to crumble during tough times, and be really proud of yourself during times where you are victorious. And he's very even keel, and he's taking an even keel demeanor. He comes to practice, and the guys know what his expectation and his standards are, and he's actually been very good through this period.
The Huskers will get back to work with a walkthrough practice here on Thursday. Reporting with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.